80 to 90% of the meaning of a message lies in nonverbal communication. That means when we do business, especially in other countries, we must be extremely aware of our nonverbal behavior. What is a typical behavior in American business meetings could be extremely offensive in another country. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to go over how nonverbal languages affect business meetings across different cultures. Cultures can be described as low context or as high context. High context cultures leave the message to be understood through context, nonverbal cues, and between the lines interpretation. High context cultures mostly consist of the Mediterranean, Central Europe, Latin America, Africa, Middle East, Asian, and American and Indian cultures. Low context cultures expect messages to be specific and not left to someone else's interpretation. Low context cultures include America and most other English speaking countries. Sequential and synchronic cultures are another type of distinction. Sequential cultures typically contain North American, English, German, Swedish, and Dutch cultures. In sequential cultures, business people give full attention to one agenda item after another. In synchronic cultures, the flow of time is viewed as a circle, with the past, present, and future all interrelated. Synchronic cultures include South America, Southern Europe, and Asia, and all attempt to understand the present in order to prepare for the future. Their goal is to form durable bonds that stay relevant through all times. In business dealings with synchronic cultures, it is considered very negative and disloyal to not favor family and friends in business dealings. The last distinction is between affective and neutral cultures. Affective cultures readily show emotions like laughing, smiling, grimacing, crying, shouting, or walking out of a meeting. In a neutral environment, all emotions are controlled. Emotional reactions leaning toward the affective side are the least acceptable in Japan, Indonesia, the UK, Norway, and Netherlands. Affective behavior is most accepted in Italy, France, the United States, and Singapore. In low context cultures, contracts are very thorough and include lots of fine print to cover every contingency. If the party doesn't deliver, then the legal system in place will enforce compliance. In high context cultures, it is not necessary to write anything down. A mutual understanding or a handshake will suffice. Parties are more likely to rely on a pre existing trust relationship than any legal system. In low context cultures, meetings provide an occasion for the company to consider pros and cons and arrive at a decision at the end of the meeting. In high context cultures, deliberation and decision making take place behind the scenes and at upper levels. A meeting would be an occasion to announce and explain the decision. Lastly, I'm going to give specific examples of how body language is a large factor in nonverbal behavior and how it can be viewed in different cultures. In Asian countries, low bows are used to show respect. It is also important to not have direct eye contact, which may seem threatening. Always lower your eyes, especially when talking to someone superior. In Western cultures, eye contact is important because it shows honesty as well as makes someone appear as trustworthy as soon as you meet them. When traveling in the Middle East, make sure you're not crossing your legs because it can be seen as offensive to have a person's foot pointing towards another person. A person sitting with a slouched or relaxed posture normally reflects someone with superiority because they feel comfortable enough to be there. When in Turkey, subordinates will typically have their jacket buttoned to show respect to their superiors. Many bosses will also show up late to seem superior. In Indonesia, supervisors may habitually arrive 30 minutes late to meetings, with always saying the excuse of they were stuck in traffic. Differing from other cultures, Japan and China expect punctuality from everyone coming to the meeting or just coming to work. While many Americans may make a joke to have as an icebreaker whenever they start a meeting, that's seen as very unprofessional in countries like Germany. Thank you for your time watching, and I hope you've enjoyed learning how different cultures are affected by nonverbal behavior.